Hello children, my name is Miss Louw and I'm going to read my very own story to you, The Wonderberry Tree. Are you ready? The Wonderberry Tree, written by Simone Lowe, illustrated by Tori Stowe. Once upon a time, in a land far away, at the top of a steep hill, was a little village called Blue. In this village lived King Blue and the Blues. The Blues ate blueberries and were excellent cooks. They made the most delicious blueberry pie. In the valley at the bottom of the steep hill was another village called Red. In this village lived King Red and the Reds. The Reds ate strawberries and had a very special skill. They could jump incredibly high. Some say as high as the sun. You need to know one crucial thing about these two villages. They despised each other. Between the villages grew a hedge which separated them. "No red shall pass, or this day will be your last," chanted the Blues. A small wooden gate in the hedge allowed the Blues and Reds to walk between the villages, but nobody dared. "No blue shall pass, or this day will be your last," chanted the Reds. No one in the villages of Red or Blue knew when the feud had begun, but they all understood one thing. Reds belonged with Reds, and Blues belonged with Blues. At the top of the hill in the village of Blue was a tall, magnificent tree. At the top of the tree grew the most scrumptious, most tantalizing, most delicious-looking berries the Blues had ever seen. But the tree was tall and the Blues could not reach the berries, and the berries never fell to the ground. King Blue would often lie under the tree, look up at the berries, and imagine how they tasted. He spent so much time there that he even made up a song about the berries. "Berries, berries, how do you taste? What a shame for you to go to waste. Growing in the tree so high, how I'd love to make fruit pie. Berries, berries, how do you taste? What a shame for you to go to waste." King Blue named them Wonderberries because everybody wondered how they tasted. The Reds could see the tree and its delicious berries from the valley. They also thought they were the most scrumptious-looking berries they had ever seen. They were getting tired of eating strawberries day in and day out. King Red thought it was time to meet with King Blue. "Please, can you share the berries with us? They really do look delicious." Before King Red could finish his sentence, King Blue shouted, "Have you forgotten our rule? No red shall pass. We will not share our wonderberries with you." The Reds were so eager to taste the forbidden fruit that they had a meeting and devised a plan. They were all very excited. The undercover Blue was nervous about entering the village of Blue. He passed through the gate and looked around. No one gave him any attention, so he took a step forward. Then another and another. Slowly he walked to the top of the hill, and there before him was a true spectacle. The tree was taller than he thought, and the fruit was out of reach. But not to worry, remember that the Reds could jump incredibly high. Undercover Blue bent his knees, counted to 3, and took a great big leap high up into the sky. He grabbed a wonderberry, and when he landed, he stared at the delicious fruit. "Finally," Undercover Blue thought. He closed his eyes and took a bite of the most scrumptious, most tantalizing, most delicious fruit he had ever tasted. "Hey, shouted someone. Undercover Blue looked around and saw a true blue running towards him. How did you get that? Easy. I just jumped up and picked it. Wow, can you really jump that high? Please get me a Wonderberry, I beg you. True Blue was so excited he didn't even wonder why this blue could jump so high. Okay, said Undercover Blue, and took another great big jump. True Blue devoured the Wonderberry and called all his friends and family to come to the tree and taste the delicious Wonderberry fruit. Undercover Blue could not escape now without blowing his cover, so he jumped and jumped and jumped to get a Wonderberry for each blue. Then something terrible happened. Because Undercover Blue was jumping so much, he started to sweat, and as he sweated, the blueberry juice washed off his body, and soon his red skin started to show. Wait! He's not a blue! Code red! Imposter! The blues were outraged, and they drove him out of their village. The now exposed red rushed home to tell the reds how delicious the Wonderberries tasted. All the reds' mouths watered, but they knew that the blues would take extra care to make sure that no red fooled them again. Back at the top of the hill, the blues were angry that the reds had tricked them. But as the days passed, their anger disappeared, and they got tired of eating blueberries again. All they could think of was the delicious taste of the Wonderberries. King Blue called a meeting with his fellow blues. We need to figure out how to get the Wonderberry fruit. They all brainstormed and came up with plans. Nothing worked. They were exhausted and out of options. The blues sat down and rested in the shade of the big tree, trying to catch their breath. I have an idea. What is it? Tell us. Why don't we ask the reds to help? They can jump so high, said the little blue. Are you crazy? No red shall pass ever again, shouted the king. Another voice piped up. King Blue, if you ever want to taste the sweet, sweet Wonderberry fruit, we need to join forces with the reds. I think it's our only option. I agree. It's time to put our differences aside and work together. If we share the tree with them, they can jump to pick the berries and share them with us, said another blue. King Blue paced back and forth. I suppose we have tried everything, and I would love to make Wonderberry pie. The reds want to eat the Wonderberries as much as we do. I'm sure they will agree. King Blue and King Red met at the gate and discussed the arrangement. The blues agreed to share the tree with the reds, and the reds agreed to collect the fruit and share it with the blues. The final part of their agreement was to take the weapons down from the hedge that divided the two villages and remove the gate. That meant that the reds and blues could walk freely. This was a sign of the two villages becoming one. From that day on, the reds and blues were much happier. They worked together, lived together, laughed together, and most importantly, ate the Wonderberries together. They also made the most scrumptious, most tantalizing, most delicious Wonderberry pie. The two kings named the Tree of Harmony, as it was the reason the reds and blues ended their silly feud and lived together in peace. And after the reds and blues mixed together, what do you think happened? There was purple too. Life had become much more colourful and interesting. The end.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed the story. You can visit littlemisslouw.com for fun printable activities, games, and more. You can also follow Little Miss Louw on Instagram to find out what I'm up to. Have fun!